Hello, my Inklings, my Samajamas, and my Borises. Benny1974 back at it again with a brand new video. We are doing the final part of the Owl House, explained like D&D. I want to do a series like this for a while, I'm going to be honest. It's been a real harrowing period of how it would feel. I might try it again. Don't expect it often, but you know, I'll talk more about this at the end of the video. So, the DM is moving soon, so they decide they are going to do... So they decide they are going to do 3 sessions. That's it. It's 3 weeks until they move, so they are doing 3 remaining sessions in the campaign. If they don't finish within that time, tough. They don't want to do it like that, but they've played over online before, and it's just not the same vibe. So, that's how they do it. So, first session, all of the stuff at the beginning, like the stuff at the very beginning of episode 1 of season 3 is actually roleplayed. The DM did get someone to roleplay as Camilla, but this person doesn't want to play as an actual character, though they do get a stat sheet, even though they barely use it. So... well, if that happens, then they do a bit of a time skip after the first part of, after that part of the episode, they do a time skip, moving forward, which is fine. They know they have to do a time skip. Keep in mind, these sessions are way longer than they're normally doing them. Doing them for, 8-hour sessions, and everyone's crying their eyes out during them. The thing with Hunter, he's kind of like, wait, what? Hold on, pardon? Wait, what? What? Ah! Thing with Hunter, he's losing his mind, but he doesn't want to seem to me. I mean, the whole Hunter thing, it's completely roleplayed. The DM is giving him things that he's seeing that would be disturbing, but he's role-playing most of it for the most part. Even that scene in episode 1 of season 3, where his eyes glow blue, where he's like, "Get the rebus? No!" That's role-played by the Hunter player, and the DM's impressed. He's like, wow, no, he's really taken to this whole possession thing. The rebus was something they had to just go, okay. How do I... Aha! Now, the DM gets a lot of lore that they never really get to use in the actual, campaign, but they're happy enough with how it's going. The fight with Bellows goes away. It certainly goes away. No one's having a good time. Everyone's having a good time, but not in the way you're thinking. Some people are sad. Everyone thinks Hunter's about to die, and the DM says at the table, "Oh, he's not gonna die, but you're gonna be way sadder." As Flapjack sacrifices himself. Everyone keeps screaming at the DM, but they just got a huge smile on their face. Because they know if people weren't enjoying it, they wouldn't care this much. So that's how episode 1 goes. Sorry, I know I stutter a lot. It's only in the videos, so apologies. I'm doing this episode by episode, segment by segment. Now, episode 2, everyone. Episode 2, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 2. So, in episode 2, we got a bit of a situation. We got emotional damage with Hunter. We've got more emotional damage with Luce. I'm not doing that to my throat again, but more emotional damage with Luce. Emotional damage that's kind of, if I'm being honest, I kind of feel is phoned in with, I understand Willow's arc in the episode, but her, nothing, does anything happen with her character in episode 1 so we see this arc earlier? Because it just feels like her arc kind of comes out of nowhere. But that's against the point. So we got an arc for Luce, we got an arc for Hunter, and we got Willow, Gus, and Amity, who are also there, except for the fact that Willow kind of has an arc, but that's only focused on for this specific episode. No other episode of season 3. So everyone knows what they have to be sad about. The other characters just kind of trying to be happy, but then it's just kind of like as Luce and Hunter, or as Luce and Hunter's players, they're kind of suffering. They're so sad, or their characters are sad, so their characters feel sad, so they feel they should be sad. And it's a very weird cycle. But they do the lore, and they got Basha, who, by the way, like, every character I said that has a drastically different voice from Belos, like, imagine every character I said that has a drastically different voice than Belos, is actually a friend that the DM head plays an NPC. They just didn't ask to join the campaign as a player. Mythology all thought about it, but then didn't, and the DM thought he was gonna, I don't know, which is why he got a bunch of development, and then they just kind of stopped using him, but, anyway, Kikimora and her mech suit, they fight. Luce's character is excited to maybe get a palisman, or they might just die, who knows. The mother NPC, they like say their actions, so they're basically players, they just don't have character sheets. She says, oh, I try to draw an ice glyph, and the DM says, okay, roll a wisdom save, or roll an intelligence check, and she says, what? You've used glyphs maybe once or twice, and you didn't know they could cast magic, so it wasn't that important to remember them. And they couldn't cast magic in the mortal realm, so they weren't that important to remember. Roll me an intelligence save to see if you remember the ice glyph that you are trying to use. She doesn't, but because this DM loves to be painful, he makes it so glyphs can malfunction, or if you draw a glyph wrong, it malfunctions, causing an energy blast, causing a cave-in. He also established lore that now Hunter can use all of his spells without, like, Hunter thought he couldn't cast anything. The DM was waiting for him to ask if he could cast anything, cause he could. Like, basically the way I had it work before is Hunter was an Eldritch Knight or whatever, or like a Paladin or something, that never had a source of power. Like, he could cast spells when he had a source of magic, but he never did. So, and the DM said, oh, he has a source of magic from Flapjack. So, he's good. Which, by the way, is the only way that spell could possibly work, because as that spell would be totally useless if you had to draw a spell circle for it every single time. And because it's super speed, someone could hit you while you're casting the spell circle. It's pretty much only utilities with Talisman, but I digress. Anyway, you fly, you go. He's able to Misty Step now. He can teleport. Or is that teleportation or super speed? That was like a weird breed of power. You can, like, I always characterized it kind of like turning into lightning for a second, where you basically, I guess it's kind of super speed. It's short bursts of super speed, but it's just Misty Step. It's just Misty Step. He gains his Misty Step abilities. He can do the things. They beat Kikimora because the only reason they lost to Kikimora in the first fight was because they had disadvantage on attack rolls because they were trying to focus on not hitting Hunter, or Luce in disguise. So yeah, they demolish them because they never earned it. They don't actually, like, they get them down to about half health. I know combat goes fast. They get them down to about half health, and then they're just. and then Luce's character is like, okay, this isn't working, and then she remembers, oh wait, we were talking about this glyph to get into the collector's skull. Oh my goodness. And she like, after she had her big emotional moment with Camilla, which actually happened, it's like a thing. Had a big emotional moment with Camilla. Palisman hatches. DM's waiting for a moment where they're out of combat to say what animal it becomes, because it would be weird to have an emotional moment in the middle of combat. So they draw the glyph, and he says it's gonna be a turn from each of you before this glyph is fully drawn. You all need to spend an action drawing this before it's fully done. And they all say okay. So they start drawing. They get there, and then the DM suddenly has to, or the DM doesn't actually have to leave. They just pass out because they're exhausted from that session. That session, like another 8 hours, they're exhausted. They don't know what to do. They're really tired. So they just kind of say, okay, I will continue. Oh, and in this episode, all the, like, Lilith, Hootie, which isn't actually a character, it's just an NPC, but Hootie, King, and Lilith, like, they swap between each other. They get, like, 30 minutes between each other, and they swap in, they go in intervals of 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, they swap perspectives, but they don't really do much. But, like the Collector's also the Collector's actually a character because the DM stat blocked him because he's able to do a kid voice. It's not too difficult. He stat blocked him all nice and it's all going well. It's all like, but then the DM's just like, okay, I need to sleep, and passes out. Luckily everyone's like, what the hell? Because they're all in the same room. And then the DM's, the person the DM's dating comes out, and they're like, okay, we're done here. Everyone leaves, and they get ready for their last session. So, we get to the last episode of the show, where everyone started to cry. Anyway, we get to the last episode, and this is where the fun begins. If they were having fun before that, but here's the thing. So now, they go through this whole dream sequence kind of thing. The other perspectives, cool. The DM, I really have one moment I want to talk about. One in particular. And we all know the moment. After they redeem the Collector, Luce gets struck down, meeting the Tyrant, or the Monarch. No, the Monarch. Yeah, that was the name. The Monarch. She gives him his power. She becomes incredibly powerful, reviving. They start combat against. In fact, it's not even combat. It's just the DM describing stuff and them describing their attacks to fight against it. They're incredibly powerful. They're winning everything. King's Titan roar. Where Ida's talons, everything. Luce drawing her first spell circle. Everything happening. All the power. All of it at once. They work together effortlessly. The DM sheds a single tear, knowing it's over. It's been fun, but it's over. But now is not the time for crying. Now is the time for storytelling. We get to the final moment. The corruption being fought back as Belus is being torn out. Ida, Rain, who isn't a player at this point, and King, all fighting to fight back the corruption. And then that's a cheesy line.
Do not underestimate me, Bellows. For I am the Good Witch Luce, child of the human realm, student of the demon realm, and warrior of peace! Now eat this, sucker!
Line that in the campaign started as a joke, then turned into that. So after that point, the DM does a little wrap-up after they kill Bellows, of course, he deserved it. Does a little, say, I don't know how many years, I'd say, I forgot how many years it was, about 6 years later? Does a little 6 years later kind of thing. And then, do a wrap-up. Ending it, and having every person they asked to play at NPC in one room, saying the stupid line that so many of them got so fond of. I'm not playing a clip of that one, but now to talk about some things. But yeah, some of this will have stuff to do with the Ale House. But leave feedback on what you think of this series in the comments. Now, of course, even with a boatload of good comments, I might not consider doing this again, because it's still a lot of work. Like, this stuff is a few hours out of my day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I don't get a lot of hours in the day, and it's not a weekend, so yeah. But, and I do enjoy this stuff for the most part, but, like, it takes a while, and sometimes I'm just not in a mood for it. I don't know why I made the dedication to do this on a Thursday. I just did. Well, if I do this again, I feel like Amphibia would be the easiest to adapt. And plus the only one I wouldn't know about. Well, maybe I could do the Dragon Prince. But anyway, I'm also going to say something. Screw Disney! How can a company cancel a series that was amazing in almost every way? Like I have never cried to TV, and I still didn't cry to the Owl House, but I shed tears of joy. That doesn't count as crying, because I didn't, get into the crying, but I shed some tears of joy over that moment of Ida, Luce, and King fighting together with that song. It's opium to my ears. How did Disney manage to ruin it? And even then, amazing credits to the show creator who managed to wrap it up in a way that made it feel satisfactory, even with the cut time. Of course, I would have loved to see them go the Amphibia approach with doing half a season in the human realm, but which they probably wouldn't have. They probably would have saved the demon realm for the last 3 episodes. But I digress. I said, almost perfect. I did have a problem with Willow's arc in episode 2, and it makes sense. The arc makes sense, but I had a problem with the fact that we don't see it before the episode. The episode, every episode in season 3, great, perfect episodes. Other than Willow's arc. Because if we saw Willow's arc in episode 1, other than just episode 2, and I know it comes up mostly because of episode 2, mostly in episode 2 because she's trying to help other people with their trauma while hiding her own. But why everyone is having trauma in the first episode, and it's not shown at all, which bothers me. But sorry, just cracking my knuckles. That other than that, I love the show. It's amazing. It's a great show. Screw Disney. You ruined a perfect thing again. Or you didn't ruin it. You just made it so it couldn't live up to its full potential. What was so great about... okay, I love Amphibia. I don't like Amphibia as much as I like Owl House, but what was so great about Amphibia that it could have the 3 seasons, and Owl House got canceled after season 2, and you let it get a proper finisher? What was so great? Huh? Anyway. Tell me what you think of this series in the comments. It has been some of my most popular videos, so I might keep doing it. I did put the least effort into episode 2, so that's probably gonna end badly. So that's probably why that one has the least views. But I'll see how this one performs. Even then, these videos can be fun. I do like sticking to a schedule until I have to actually stick to it, because then I suffer, because I don't want to do the work at the times I set the work for. But I digress. So, tell me what you think of this series in the comments, and see you, my Inklings, my Sandwich, and my Boruses. Peace out.